Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another week. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Right, so for the last, I think, 3 months. For the last 3 months, I've been doing this. Maybe I've not been announcing it or I've not been saying it, but I have to make sure I say it before I start because it's important that everything I'm going to share here, okay, is just for educational purpose, and you can obviously take advantage of them on your demo account. By no means your financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to trade and where to put your money. So don't expect me to advise you to take a trade or not. I'm just giving you what I see in price, and you can do whatever you want to do with that information. Okay. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I think you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Please confirm to me if you can hear me. Because I can see. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ben. Right, so as I was saying, I'm not your financial advisor, so everything I'm going to share here, it does not translate to you placing money on it. You can do whatever fits so for you, and we can begin. Okay, we're going to start with the dollar index as usual, but before I do that, I want you guys to be aware that we are still in risky moment or territory, because the US election results is not officially out yet. So because of that, we're still in that environment where anything is possible. Okay, we are living in the realm of anything possible in terms of price. Price can do anything regardless of what you might think. So you should be open to anything. Okay, you should be open to anything because until the election comes, the official results comes out, there's no way investors or quote unquote smart money will be in the market looking for long term. And since we want to see a long term direction in price, which we can profit from, until we get that, we are all going to still live in this environment where we will still be looking at our back thinking, okay, what's going on. So I want you to be aware of that. Okay, Mr. Sean, do not spam. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's look at the dollar index. Looking at the daily chart, so we did run this low last week, and then we had this push to the upside Monday to Friday. That's how we traded. And today, actually yesterday, price gap down, and that's that shaded box I've got there. Okay, price did gap down here. That is yesterday's opening price, and then I wanted to see if they will come back to it and then reject and go lower, or they're going to come back to the gap and then close above it. So that's what I'm watching for today, because I still think in my opinion. It's either we're going to go up or we're going to go sideways. I don't think we should drop, because dropping means that there is kind of smart money knows that something is wrong and they will be looking to sell the dollar. But at the moment, because we are not sure with the election, it doesn't give smart money any clue as to whether to keep selling the dollar or not. Okay, so it's either we will go up here and stay in this range, or we will come down and stay in a kind of a sideways market. Until the election results comes out, we will not get a clear direction. That's what you need to know. Okay, so until the actual election results comes out, we might probably stay between this low and that high. We might stay in this range, so you have to be aware of that, so that once the election results comes out, then we'll be looking for price to break outside this whole range, whether to the upside or to the downside. That's yet to be seen. Okay, so today I want to see how price will react. I personally think that by price gapping down and closing above it, that's a sign of kind of a bullishness to me, this gap here, because usually once we gap down, we come back to refill the gap and then continue going lower. But we gap down and then came back to it, and then we've managed to close above it. So what I want to see is price finding support at the gap and then rejecting and continue going higher. If we come back down and take out this low here, so if you do take out this low again, then I think we will be coming down here. And then if you look down, we do have some gaps in here that needs to be filled. And that one, let's see if we've been there. Okay, we've been there. Let's go on to the 4-hour, because I think I saw one on the 4-hour right here. Okay, so if we break the low created today, then my eyes will come right down here. Okay, so let's see how price is gonna react today in this gap. If 4-hour managed to close above it, I think I will start looking for price to come up here. Okay, if price closes above this gap on the 4-hour basis, I'll start looking for price to come back up here. So watch that going forward. With that, let's go on to Euro. Let's remove these. Okay, on Euro, last week we did have this last up candle, which did run some stops up here. So I was watching. I don't like trading on Mondays, so I've not paid attention. I've just watched it. On the 15 minutes, it did give some like a mini breaker trade in here. Sorry, 15 minutes. It gave a mini breaker trade in here, which I was watching, but I didn't participate because I don't like trading on Mondays, so I did not participate. But that was coming from that last up candle on the 4-hour here. Okay, so we've got reaction of that one and we've rejected. Now I want to see price at least come down to this gap. Okay, that's if the gap on the dollar holds. Okay, if the gap on the dollar holds, then I'll look for price to come down here. So on the 1 hour, if there is a breaker, which has played out here, I want to see them continue coming lower for that gap here. Right, if we do break above, let's go back to the 4-hour. If you do come above this up candle, this last down candle, then I think they will come above this high, and then you should look at this gap or this last up candle. Okay, so if they do come above this high, then you should be looking up here for your upside objective. Okay, so a closure above this down candle, okay, will cause price to rally higher because the dollar will be dropping and you should be looking for buys. But for now, it's not the case. So I say wait. The trade that needed to be taken is gone, which was this trade here, right? And that was the breaker trade based off the last up candle on the 4-hour, and it's gone. And now it's pulling back up. I personally want to see it continue going lower. Okay, I want to see it continue going lower. So maybe this could be a pullback to continue going lower with this low gap and that up candle in there to continue going lower. So what do you want to do? It's entirely up to you whether you want to wait for price to come up here, the 4-hour down candle, or you want to sell short here without being afraid to take a loss and continue going lower. So something like this, and then you target that gap on the downside, right? And then if it does close above that high, then you start looking for reasons to be a buyer to come up here. Okay, on British pound, I have said several times that I do not want to do anything on this pair because it doesn't make sense. Okay, the price action on this is not making sense, and it's not leaving any real kind of levels, because on the daily time frame everything has been traded, so there's no imbalance or like a bullish order block for me to use to frame a trade, and it's a mess. So you want to stay away from this pair because there's nothing on the, you can go on the lower time frame like the 15 minutes and you can find certain things on there, but I don't like doing that on these lower time frames. I have to frame it based on the higher time frame and then go into the lower time frame for the trades, but there's nothing on the higher time frame for me to frame the trade on, therefore it's not high probability for me. Okay, but looking at this price action right here, it seems like they might take it down here, because that looks like a sell model to me, and they've broken market structure here and pull back and rejected. So if it's what I'm seeing, then we should see price drop down here for this consolidation. So maybe selling this area there, just get rid of this gap, and on the 4-hour, let's look what we have. Yeah, I don't see any gap in here that price went. I don't like this level. Okay, that's why looking at the price action on the lower time frame, that's what I see that we have a sell model that price could potentially come down here, but I cannot frame where this high, maybe on Friday's high. Okay, Friday's high, that is a point of liquidity. So Friday's high being raided and then rejection, that could be for them to come back down for Friday's low and Thursday. Give me a second. Yeah, so that was Thursday's high. Right, so that was Thursday's high. They ran Thursday's high and rejected and broke market structure here. So it looks like they might want to come down to take out this area of consolidation. Right, if they do come above this high again, then I think you should be looking there. Let's go to daily and see what that level is. Yeah, this equal high. Remove that one. Okay, if we go above today's high, then you should be looking at this equal high. It looks like they might, not looks like, they might go for that. It's very near where price is, and they've already run stops down here, so very possible between this low and that high they could come back down a bit deeper. Let me get rid of this. Right, they could come back down deeper. We didn't even get to the 50%, so we could see price drop deeper for maybe the optimal trade entry, because at the moment there's nothing here, right? So they could just come down somewhere in here and then send price above this equal high. That is what going forward I'll look for. But for now, because we have placed in a high, we've closed back inside this range between this high and that low. We've closed back inside that range, so usually we'll go down to find liquidity again inside the range. But yeah, maybe down here, that's where they probably come down for, and then send it higher there. Okay, so this could be a very good sell model to sell down into, take out this low, that low, into this gap, and then reject and go high again. So this down candle could be relevant based on the 4-hour here. That will send us to yeah, I like that. This gap, get rid of this one. I like this one, that 70.5 level with that down candle, and then that gap with that crazy move on the upside. I like that one. So you could look for a sell to come down, take out this low into this gap here, and then once you get down there, you could look for price to come back up to take out this equal high, because that's long term. That's what I'm looking for, bearish pound to run to. Unless something happens and we run back down below this low, then I'll change the direction. But until it does that, then I'll still be looking for this equal high. Okay, so for long term, because of the daily price structure, we're still looking for this equal high as the target. But for now, because of what I just outlined here, price running above this high and then closing back inside, they might want to come down and look for more liquidity or to rebalance something down here. Okay, so you could look for a sell, as I'm seeing there. Okay, looks like a sell model to me, and you can pull your fib and see where price actually reversed. Okay, we're coming off from the 618 level, so we could see price drop and take out this low and take us into here. Right, so that is British pound based on the lower time frame. New Zealand dollar, let's move all this. I'm still looking at this equal high as the upside objective on this pair. Regardless of what the dollar is doing, I'm still looking for this equal high to be run. So last week, if you remember, I did give this down candle on the 4-hour as an area to look for a trade to continue going higher. If my members will remember, okay, that's what I gave on, I think, since he created this, basically, that's what I was looking for price to come back down here and look for that equal high. And I keep repeating that regardless of what the dollar is going to do, this pair is still strong. Okay, this pair is so strong, and it's the leadership. When I say leadership, it means that if you compare all the currencies, actually let's use this so you can see what I mean. and go to right. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, even though I don't use it, but I do see it in price, that the New Zealand is the strongest currency out there. Okay, so because of that, regardless of what the dollar is going to do, this thing will still push higher. Okay, so you're still looking for this equal high to be run, and like I mentioned, if you go on the weekly, it looks like once we get the dollar to start moving down, this will be the pair to be in, and you could be looking for, let's go into the monthly because I think I gave it on the monthly. Yeah, right here, that's where you should be looking at for price to run to. So remove that. For your long term, that's where you should be looking for price to run to. Regardless of what's going to happen, this thing wants to go higher. Okay, so any pullback, you want to buy it. You don't want to be in the sell. Okay, any pullback, you want to buy it. Plus, you do have the Aussie New Zealand also in favor to the downside. Even though we are going into a pullback, we still look for New Zealand to continue being strong. So once we go into Aussie New Zealand, you see what I mean. Okay, but look for a continuation to the upside. All right, Aussie dollar, this one is relatively weaker, so I think this might go sideways. As you can see, it's not doing much. I was expecting it to pull back further last week into this one. Where is it? Right here. That's where I was expecting. I was expecting it to drop in here, then continue probably going higher. But I only did the first target, which is the one I gave to our members. But I did call it off because of last week. The central banks, the presidents, all of them were talking on one day. So because of that, I decided to cancel this trade. But as soon as I called it off, price dropped into the first target, and we've seen a rejection. I still think price might go sideways. Why? Because the New Zealand is the leader, and if you look at Aussie New Zealand, you'll see what I mean. Let's go on there and show you what I mean. Because this pair is dropping, right? Because this pair is dropping, you will find out that Aussie is relatively weak compared to New Zealand. So I think I did share this back in the days where if you have AUD and ZD, okay, if you have it bearish, which is going down, it means that NZD will be going up or it'll be going sideways, and AUD will be dropping. Okay, you find this one going up on all the pairs, or it'll be going sideways. It will not be dropping. When this is dropping, don't try to go against NZD. Okay, and then when this is going up, it's the opposite. AUD will be going up or it'll be going sideways, and this one will be dropping. Okay, so the same scenario, that's what you're seeing. So this Aussie New Zealand can stay sideways, and then this will continue going higher. And that's what I'll say if you want to take any trade. If dollar starts going up, you want to sell this one. Okay, if dollar starts going up, you want to sell this one. But if dollar starts going down, you want to buy this one, because it's the leadership. Okay, so once you see dollar start going up, do not sell New Zealand dollar, but rather sell Aussie dollar. And if you see dollar going down, do not buy Aussie dollar, buy New Zealand dollar, because that's the one that is going to move much to the upside. Okay, so on this one, you want to stay out. As you can see, it's not doing much, so you want to stay out for now. Okay, dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, I was expecting price to come up here before any pullback inside this shaded area. Why that shaded area? Because let me pull this one in. I was expecting it to come to this area before any meaningful pullback because of previous week. So we have that previous week high here and previous week low there. So I was expecting it to go to at least there. Push it properly there before any meaningful pullback. That's why we had our second target up here, but we didn't quite get there. So what we've got today probably could be possible low of the week forming, and then we will reject and go high again. That's the narrative I'm going for today or for this week, that this could be a pullback and then a rejection to continue going. What would change my my view or my my direction? If we do come down and take out this, okay, if we close below here on the daily, this is the weekly time frame, but on the daily, this level here, if we close below that, then I am no more looking for upside objective. So here, this level, if we close below that, I am no more looking for a continuation to the upside. So the long trade that we do have is still valid. We're still looking for upside objective, but if we close below this on a daily basis, then I'm no more looking for upside objective. Okay, because I'm looking at that level as a potential, okay, potential rejection block to continue going higher. Okay, but if we do close below it, I'm no more looking for that, and then we could start probably, I don't think we will drop because we've already done the job on the downside. Okay, they've already done the job here, so there's no need for them to come down there for now. Okay, we don't need to come down there for now. So it's either we be going sideways, and you don't want to be in a trade unless you're trading the lower time frames. Then you can obviously trade the 4-hour highs and run above a high or run below a low, and then you play the range. But it's hard to trade in that kind of condition, so I will still stick with the upside. So for a trade idea, I'll wait for this short-term high to be broken on the hourly, because we are bearish on the 1-hour time frame, but still bullish on the 4-hour. 4-hour we still bullish. Okay, so if we take out this short-term high on the hourly, then I'll start looking for a buy again. So I'll add to my previous position, which I usually close on Friday. So as you all know, I'll start looking for a position on this going forward to this week. So I'll wait for a break above this high. That will break market structure, and then I'll start looking for a buy into this area. So I'll start looking for this as upside objective for this week if we get the break above this high. Okay, so that's what I'm watching. You can also have these lines on your chart and watch the same thing. Okay, a break above this high, you look for price to come up in here. So you're looking for price to come up to this gap. Dollar Swiss, so annoying, and I know some people might be short on this one, thinking price is going to continue going down, and yes, it is. That's where I learned from. That's what I learned from, and with a bit of more time spent on the chart. Okay, so some of them are based on experience, but most of it is where I learned from. Okay, so he's my mentor. That's where I learned everything from. But then once you learn something from someone and you spend time on it, then you kind of grow into your experience. So there will be certain things that, because you've experienced it in price, then you kind of lean on experience. So some things that I'm showing here is based on experience, and most of it is just concepts that I learned from my mentor, which is ICT. Right. Looking at this today, over the weekend, I was quite surprised they didn't take out this high and they left it here. Now, sometimes you need to think, why did they leave price here? Why didn't they go up here? Yeah, that's the question I was asking myself over the weekend. Why didn't they go up here and decide to reject up there and then come back down? And the answer I got to myself was, maybe this is engineering. So maybe they want to catch people to go short here and then ultimately run against them, because they will be expecting price to drop, maybe support and resistance. I don't see anything based on the daily that caused price. Hide this thing here. I don't see anything here that caused price, to reject, because we already been there to the rejection block and then rejected. So price coming up here and stopping, I don't see. Maybe it's still the rejection block. It could be. Yeah, that it can still act as support or resistance and then so come down. But I see that as possibly they are engineering liquidity, or they are trying to draw sellers in the market and then run against them. Okay, so that's what came to my mind over the weekend as I was looking at this. And at the same time, I was looking at the weekly time frame, and since October we've not had a since October, okay, we've not had like 2 weeks where price continued in one direction. So we had a down candle, we had a up candle, we had a down candle, and an up candle, down, up. So it's a bit tricky, even though it's still gradually grinding down. But if you try to trade this on a long-term basis, you might get yourself hurt. Yeah, so you also have to consider that when you're doing your analysis, to see what the weekly time frame is doing. From the look of things, that's a lot of manipulation, where once you drop, maybe the following week you're expecting price to continue going lower and it doesn't, and then you'll be looking for price to go up and it doesn't. You'll be looking for price to go down and it doesn't, to continue going up and it doesn't, continue going down and it doesn't. Okay, so you could get yourself hurt in this kind of situations. But if you trade in on the 1 hour 15 minutes, maybe you'll get away with certain things. Looking at this time frame, I think they might come down here and then run it up again. Because price did take out this low. Okay, price did take out this low and rejected with this kind of candle that is a lot of energy. So to me, they might probably come down here and then reject and go, or they could just stay where it is and then reject and run above that high. Anything is possible in the condition we are in. I will elect for price to come down a little bit more and then continue going higher. On the 4 hour, we've seen a rejection, which in my opinion, I think this is just a stop hunt. They were trying to scare people out, and then price will continue going lower. So that's your breaker. on the 4 hour, and we could see a continuation to the downside, because this is a void that needs to be filled in. So they might come back down again, and then from this level we look for a buy to come up for this equal high that they've engineered. Possible. It's not guaranteed, but it's possible, and that's what I'll probably go with on this particular pair. Okay, if you drop down to the 1 hour, this is what you have. So for a day trade, kind of, I'll rather take a breakout on the 15 minutes. So if we do get this down candle to close, then I'll take a short, or you can take a short if you want, because that will be a breaker and then another breaker. You can take a short once we close below this down candle. Alright, because price is making lower lows on the 4 hour, so you want to catch a short, wait for another breaker to form, which is one here, high break, then you sell short, and then you look to target this low, and then look for the down candle on the daily as your downside objective. Right, so that's it on the dollar Swiss. I don't like Swiss pairs, but apart from Swiss yen. Okay, so let me draw this for you. That's if we close below. Okay, if we close below this, you could look for that. And your first target, I think we do have a down candle on the daily, on the 4 hour, and a possible gap. So you could look for some target here, and then here, and then the rest you just leave it to go. Okay, so if you do get an entry, that will be target, and then the rest you let it go if it breaks that low. Right, now what would change this? If we come above the breaker, if we do come above the breaker, I'll start looking for reasons to go high again, but that should give me a bullish dollar. If we don't have a bullish dollar, then I will not. Probably they will come back between this high and this low, and then look to sell optimal trade entry or the last up candle. It's not clean, but it could be in the lower time frame, somewhere in here there will be an up candle, yeah. 5 minutes is not clean. I don't see anything apart from this mini gap, so maybe they'll come up there and find support there and then send it back down again. Okay, so if we break, or this one, if you happen to take this trade and it stops you out, then I think price will come higher and then drop again. But if you go higher and the dollar respects this gap that I outlined earlier, and it start going higher, then I think this equal high will be gone. They've engineered it and they will attack that equal high. Right, so you want to make sure you are aware that there is equal high. They've taken out these stops, and that's how I most of the time view price. This low has been taken, so if they've taken stops here, where is it likely to go? That's how I view price. So the fact that they've taken out these stops, okay, where is price likely to go? Is it likely to go up here and continue going lower? Not probably. Okay, so I'll look at this high as where they will want to go up there, especially in this condition that we are in. That's the high I'll look for them to dump all this buy that they took here. Right, so you have to be careful that we do have equal highs in here. Euro pound. On euro pound, they've sold the idea of support and resistance down here. Okay, so price came here once, came here twice, now 3 times, and it's gone up. So they'll be expecting another bounce if price does come down here, and I'm looking for price to drop into that weekly last down candle here. So I'm expecting this to reject and go lower again and take out this lows. They didn't run it properly, in my opinion. That was just too shallow. Okay, this was just too shallow, so I'll be expecting price to reject and come back lower. I had this 4-hour level that I was watching Friday that they could come up here and then reject. So this equal high, you want to watch it for this week. They might run stops here, hit this, and then reject and come back down. Okay, so you want to watch it. So if you want to take the trade idea based on the 4-hour, then you would do it this way and look for price to come all the way down here. But you can break it down to a 15 minutes or 1 hour time frame trade by looking for breakers to form. So if price is to pump up in here and break down, then you want to sell this down candle with a stop above this high. So something like this, if what I've just drawn there happens. So you can take this short here with a stop there and still target down there, right? Or you can look for even lower time frame entries, but I don't like that. I don't like the lower time frame ideas, because I can't babysit the trade. So I like to be in and then just go out and do my business, and then by the time I come back, the trade has already played out. Okay, so you could look for something like this, or if you just want to be out there doing your stuff, then just take the sell for this last up candle and look for continuation to the downside. Now if this fails, to me that's a market structure break on the daily. It should break above this high. That would be a market structure break, and I'll start looking for upside objectives. So we do have a trend line there, so I'll be looking for that trend line to be touched first, and then there is a small 4-hour level here. That'll be the next, and then I'll be looking for price to come up here. If we break above this high, I'll view all this down movement as manipulation, okay, and then rejection to go higher. But that's yet to be seen. I will go with the short first, and if that fails, then I will go with the long, right? So that's euro pound. Aussie New Zealand, I'm looking for price to come up here. So this morning I woke up and I did this. I think that was last night. Last night I was looking at this area, that down candle there, to support price and send us higher based on this low being taken, that down, this short-term low being taken, and then price going higher. But again, the reason why it failed, I know why it failed, because it didn't break above this high. So this was a suspect, right? And then it came back down and ran it here, and now they've broken above this high, or they've traded above that high. So this is a pullback. I still think we're gonna continue going higher. So I'm expecting price to come and fill this void, and I think it will do that. Yeah, on the 4-hour we do have a void. Again, if you go on the daily, we've just run this low. get rid of those. And we have retraced to this down candle. Okay, that is a positive sign. If you're not familiar with this, maybe you want to back test this, but usually it's either we run stops, we form a low, we continue going higher, or we run stops, we form a low, price comes back down to the down candle and then rejects and go higher. Look onto your chart. Anytime we do run a low, you will see this kind of idea, right? Price runs a low, it's either it's gonna come back down, hit the down candle and reject going higher, or it will hit run the low and then just continue going higher. Okay, let me find an example for you to see, both on the upside and the downside. It's an example right here. You might not see this as a down candle, but it is. This one here, that wick, this one, price comes back down to the down candle again, and then it just continues going higher. Okay, the same thing applies to the upside. If you run a high, break down that last up candle, price usually goes back and then continue going lower, or it's just gonna take the high and then just keep dropping. And let's go on to quickly show you what oil is doing. Because I was looking at oil this morning. Remove all this. I was looking at this morning and I wanted to share it, but I wanted to see what price would do at 130 here. So it's a trade that you can look for a break in market structure to continue going lower. I think price wants to come down there, so you can look for a break-in structure on the 15 minutes, which has just happened. Okay, we have a high breakdown, so you could look for this consolidation to be run again. All right, I was watching it since Friday, said they gave that last up candle there, so I quickly just reminded myself. That's why I brought you here. Okay, so you could look for this to pull back into the down candle and then continue going lower for this equal low into the down candle on the 4-hour. Right, so that was just by the way. Let's go back to this one. So as I was saying, the price has come back to the daily down candle and we've seen a rejection, so this could continue going higher. So that's the trade I'm watching today. And am I long on a demo account? Yes, I am. Okay, I'm playing it on a demo account, so I'm looking for price to come first of all to this, and then that one, and then the go into the high time frame. The last up candle on the weekly is this. That's the low. If I go on the weekly, you'll see here inside there the that one, that last 1-2 up candles prior to the move down, 50% of the range between this high and that low equilibrium. That's what I want to see price go to. Okay, so you could look for that. And then if you want to go extreme, then you look for this area. What is that area? It's the previous week's range. So this is previous week, this high to that low. If you measure that range, right here. So if you want to look for extreme targets, that will be extreme to me. So this area, that is where if I want to leave some on the table, that's where I'll leave some to go to. So at least it lines up with this one, the last up candle. So I'll take most of the profit off here, which will rebalance this whole down candle. Then equilibrium, which will be 50% of this high to that low, and then the last up candle will be my extreme, right? And then once you get there, I'll be looking for a continuation to the downside again, because this pair is what, bearish. Okay, so I'll be looking for a continuation to the downside. The actual level I was looking for price to turn around is the monthly here, not high. So that's a monthly down candle. It disappeared. Let's go back to the daily. So monthly high. Okay, let's go back to the monthly. It should be there. Okay, so this is the level I'm expecting price to come to. That's my next downside objective. So if we get up there, once you get up here, I'll start looking for a sell to come back down again, and this time I'll be targeting that level. All right, so you can play both sides, or you can be one-sided. You can buy to go up and then sell to come back down, or you can wait for price to get up there and then sell, or you can just buy with the understanding that you could just, this could be a reversal, so you can stay in. You can do so many things with it, but I will be looking for a continuation to the downside because the daily is bearish. I'll continue to sell based on the daily until the daily gives up. So if the daily says, okay, I'm no more going down, I'm going to break above this high, then I start looking for buys. But until then, I'm still sticking with the selling. Okay, this is just a counter trend trade, and it could go against you, but as long as it's doing what it needs to do, then I'll still stick with it. Okay, so I'm looking for a buy into these areas, and then I'll be looking for a sell. Euro New Zealand. So last week you guys got a really good trade on this to come back down here. Okay, those who took it, well done. I think that was exactly a week ago that we saw price was just where was price? Last week Monday, yeah, here. Price was just here. Okay, and then we dropped. I still think this thing wants to go down. So I had a trade idea on in here. Now I'm currently learning. I'm currently learning Wyckoff. Okay, I want to understand a bit of Wyckoff, and by just the small time I spent understanding Wyckoff, I was able to pull up this area. And you probably might be thinking, what the heck? But yeah, this up candle here, this wick. Okay, inside that wick, the 50% is where price rejected, and that's what I was studying over the weekend. I wanted to understand what was inside here that led price to go down. So what from what the understanding I got, there was some distribution going on in this area, here. There was distribution going on there, and then price rejected here. So when price rejected there, for some reason they call this place UTAD, and then price comes back to retest the UTAD, and then in future price will come back again and retest the same testing area. So I was watching it over Friday to see if it's gonna break. If it doesn't, I was actually looking to sell up here. That was my selling area because there's an up candle there. So that's where I was looking for price to come to, and then I'll sell. But I was just experimenting that level of distribution, and price did break down. It gave a breaker, and then today it shot down, right? I still think it's gonna drop, but I just wanted to see how they will do it, and they did it beautifully here. I want to see what price is gonna do today, end of today. If we close as we are, I will place a line here, a line there, and then tomorrow morning I'll start hunting for shorts at those levels. So I'll be looking for breaker setups in there. So I'll wait for price to open, give me a pullback inside there, breakdown on the lower time frame. So you can do that on the 15 minutes, and then I'll look for that 15 minutes breaker to drop again. Right? So tomorrow morning I'll be watching these levels. You can add the mean threshold to it. That will bring you right here. Go on the daily. Right there. That is the closure of this, that imbalance in there in the last up candle. You can look for that level as well, which is really nice because we have a short-term high. We have a short-term high there, so we could run this high, hit this, and then reject and continue going lower. If you do get that, you can target here, and then the rest you look for continuation to the downside, because the daily is bearish. Okay, so you still look for a continuation to the downside. So if, let's say, price runs up, take out this high, hit this, you want to sell short, and then target here as first target, second target, and look for continuation to the downside. Let's see on the downside what we have. I'll look for the mean threshold of this down candle, so somewhere in here. All right, let's push this right there. Okay, so that's where I'll be looking for price to drop to. Maybe my lines are too thin. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, so you can look for a setup in here and to bring you back down there, right? If that fails, then that's where you want to look for that same thing, because we are still bearish. You don't want to be buying, and you want to be selling. Okay, so if we do break above this high, you still have this up candle to look for a sell. There is a gap in here, so that makes it higher probability. So do not be scared. Do not be scared to take a loss, right? Actually, let me use this. Right, okay, that's the ones you're watching. So these two levels, that's the one I'll be watching with that gap. Okay. Um, of course, ICT can make traders profitable. Um, those who are skeptical are the ones that don't put in the effort to learn. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. ICT is hard. Whoever tells you every trading strategy is hard, but ICT is on a different level. It's hard. Okay, they it all depends on everyone. Sometimes it could be your level of understanding, and are you willing to submit to learn, because you have to learn. It's I don't know how to articulate it, but you have to learn, and there is a lot of people that are not willing to put in that effort. So yes, is you can be profitable with ICT, very 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 profitable, right? But you have to learn. There's a lot of learning involved, and once you learn, your your problem is going to be you. Yeah, you will have a greater understanding in price, but to be profitable with it is going to be you, in terms of your mindset, how you react to money, and that is psychology. So yes, it can make you profitable, but then you, at the end of the day, he will give you something that is highly profitable, but can you use it to make money? That's a different thing, because a lot of people understand but they cannot use it. There's two different things: understanding and using it. Right? Anything can cause you to do something wrong, and the nature of the mind is like that, where you might think that you're seeing something, and then obviously it will be the opposite, and then by the time you come back you realize, oh, this is what was happening. And I'm talking from experience, where maybe like I showed you here, okay, I saw this trade as a potential sell, but I didn't take it, but it's going my way. So that kind of thing. I understand that price should come up here and then sell down, but I didn't take the trade. So there will be elements of that where you learned ICT, you understand it, but you can't take a trade. Right? You do know, you can see price, what price is doing, what price is about to do, but you'll not be in the trade. So therefore you're not, being profitable with it, but you understand it. So yes, I know a lot of people that are profitable with ICT stuff. But you have to make up your mind, you really want to learn, because if you are just going to think it's going to be a stroll in the park, then you might as well as start using your indicators. Okay, so that's the levels you have. I think a run above this high will be the ideal. That will induce stop runs into that last up candle prior to this move down. That's where you want to. So let's do this. For your stop loss, you can keep your stop loss just above this high. It's just 66. That's a lot. Maybe right here. You can leave it here, but I like peace of mind. I can leave it right above this high because I don't want it to go up there. But market makers are a bit dodgy. So I like peace of mind. 40 is not bad, and I like to send it down here. Okay, but you can take something off there, and then something off here as well, because that also did. Okay, you can take something off here as well, because there's a low gap and then down candle that did run stops. That candle is important. They could hit that and then run up before going down again. So you don't want to sit through that probable retracement. Yeah, we get to that one. GBP New Zealand, I was looking for a sell in here, and this one didn't have nothing on it apart from the breaker, but I didn't like, because we've already been at the breaker, so I wanted price to come up to this up candle. So I still have that in case. This is in case. Okay, that's the scenario I'm playing in my head. I want to see euro pound drop, right? Just going to here and remove all this. Okay, so I want to see this drop. Okay, so it's a scenario I'm playing in my head. I want to see this thing drop. When this is dropping, it's gonna cause pound pairs to rally, right? So if this thing starts dropping, it's gonna cause pound pairs to rally, and once this is dropping, I want to see this rally, take out this high into that last up candle, and then I'll be selling short there because the daily is still bearish, right? The daily is still bearish. You've got our trend line brothers online. You've given them joy here, there, so they might think that price will be going higher. So if this starts dropping, then obviously it will cause this pair to rally, hit that bearish order block on the 4-hour, and then we look for downside objective. I think I gave the downside objectives on this. Weekly, yeah, in here. So that is your downside objective. Regardless, I think that's where price wants to go, right? So you'll be looking for price to come into this gap, but for your trades, you can just wait for price to pull back up. Okay, this is the start of the week. They can't do that. Okay, anything is possible. So it's just Monday. I think they might run it up, causing everyone to try and buy this thing and then hit this and then drop back down again. So you want to monitor that level. Do not chase this one, because I have a feeling they might run it up again. That's a huge stop loss right there, and then you target that one. Right, so you want to monitor this high, because that is quote unquote, there is liquidity sitting above into a gap, and then last up candle, high probability dip in there, then drop. Okay, do not trace it where it is right now. It's not like last week. It's not like last week when we were up here, right? Sorry, up here. That's a different case. Okay, so do not chase that. Pound yen. Fresh week, fresh start. Let's put this one on and see where we at. Previous week's range starts from here to there. I think it's got more room to the downside. It's got more room to the downside because you're coming off from a bearish order block on the weekly here, and we broke down here. We've run equal highs of Friday's high, rejected. So you want to sell short, wait for this down candle to give up, and then you sell short, use that as a breaker, sell short, and then look to target down there as first objective, the opening price. I think that will be 50%. Let's measure the range. We've already been 50%. That's what caused the bounce. So now should look for at least 618. Yeah, I think it's got more room to the downside, honestly. So you want to wait for that down candle to give up. You missed out on the sell. If you want to sell, this is where you want to sell, but it's hard. No one wants to sell when price is going up, but it's the best time to sell. I don't sell when price is going up. I'll wait for this to form. Okay, this is where I want to get to. ICT level where you'll be selling above a high. That's where I want to get to, but I'm not there yet. So I'll wait for this to happen. So you want to sell, then wait for this down candle to give up, and then you sell it. You sell the down candle, and you look for downside objective. So I think we might look for price to come back and rebalance all these crazy moves to the upside on the downside. So take something off here, and then take something off there, and then leave the rest to see what it's going to do. Right, the daily is still bullish. The daily is still bullish, so we could come down here and then continue going higher. Right, so you can wait, you can sell, come down here, wait for price to turn around, and then buy again to continue going up. If we take out this low on the daily, then you look, let's hide this thing, then you look down here. You dip in? Nope. Then you look down there. Okay, so if we do take out this low, okay, then you start looking for more sales to come here. But until then, you want to buy. Okay, so wait for, you can sell short, let price come down here, then look for reasons to be a buyer again. And I think we want to look at that high next time, or the opening price. So it's been at the low, the opening price. That will be your next upside objective. If we get the buy down here, you'll be looking for price to come up here. You think it's gonna go up? Well, what you think does not really count until it does so. So you have to wait and see. I would say yes, it can, but I don't trust it. The fact that they've rejected this high and come all the way down. So if I want to be a buyer, first of all, you have to understand what's happening up here, and that's one of the things earlier I didn't understand when it comes to this stuff. Okay, where price is coming from will determine what it's going to do. So the fact that we are coming off from a weekly level, which is this one, it's got more power. Right, this has got more power behind it than these 1 hour time frame levels. Okay, let's say this is got 100,000 cells. Okay, and you've got maybe 20k buys. Which one is stronger? Is it the buyers or the sellers? Clearly the sellers, right? So because of that level, I wouldn't be looking for a buy until we get to at least a daily level, because we are coming off from a weekly level. So I won't look for a buy until we get to a daily level, and our daily levels are down here, right here. Between this and that one, I think I'll go for the opening price of this one, which is the next downside objective. Okay, I'll go for that one. But for me to be sure, they need to break this. That's why I don't trust selling for now. I don't trust selling above a high. I can do it, but I don't trust it yet. So I'll go with the breakers until I get so much experience with selling above a high. Once I get enough experience, then I can sell here and then sell down here. But because I haven't got enough experience selling above the high, then I would like to sell the breakers, right? So you want to wait for this to give up and then you sell it. It makes more sense doing it that way, because if it's not gonna go up, definitely it's gonna go down. It's binary. If you don't buy, you're gonna sell. So you want to look for a breaking structure again, and then you want to sell short, target here and then target there. Pound, dollar, yen. Join. You see the Discord, and the Discord link there. You can join the Discord, and then in the free section you can send me your chart. Right? You can send me your chart in the free section. And by the way, just to make it clear, okay, you are entitled to your own opinion. Okay, this is just my opinion and the way I'm seeing price. There's not a single way to trade. You can have your opinion that price is going to go up, and I have my opinion that price is going to go down. At the end of the day, it's going to do one of those things. So you could be right and I'll be wrong, or you could be wrong and I could be right. Okay, so don't argue about like price direction. It doesn't make sense. It's at the end of the day, it's either you're going to be wrong or you're going to be right. Okay, so if you have a strong conviction that price is gonna go up, keep it. Okay, and then let it prove it to you that it goes up. And if it doesn't, then you know you're wrong. And if it does, you know you're right. And if it doesn't go down, I know I'm wrong. Okay, so don't argue over those kind of things. It doesn't help your personal psychology. I don't argue with people about price direction. I keep my opinion to myself, and I let people have their own opinion, because no one knows unless you have the physical money, unless you're one of those smart money guys in here trying to pick up trades ideas, and then you go against us. That would be probably understandable, that you have lots of money and you're looking to see what retail are trying to do and go against them. But if you are not in that category, then you cannot move price, so you don't know. Okay, there's no 100% guarantee that you know. Emmanuel, I don't understand your question. Maybe rephrase that question. Yeah. So on dollar yen, I still think they might drop down a little bit further. You've seen where I've got my lines. That's over the weekend, that's where that's where I'm expecting price to come to, and then look for higher prices. Right, so on dollar yen, I'm expecting price to drop in here for the week, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to drop down here, and then Thursday, Friday rejection, and then we start going higher. Maybe not this week, come back up here, but the week next week. Okay, so this week might end up taking price down here, okay, and then turn around by Thursday, Friday, and then the following week we open and then we start going high again. Why am I looking for that? Well, they've rejected a previous month low, so they did take out September's low and October's low, okay, and they've rejected that with this huge move to the upside. Right, and then they broke market structure again. If you go on the daily, you see that they've broken market structure by closing above this high. So this is just a pullback. So with that pullback, I'm expecting it to give me something down here. On the weekly, is the mean threshold of the down candle. Okay, on the weekly, this down candle, I would have preferred them close above, but it doesn't make any difference. They went up there, so I want to see at least a pullback. It can't just reject and go higher, as you see from where we are. So I was doing some back testing on this kind of phenomenon back in time to see that anytime you do run a low, how does it reject and go higher? So you want to learn things like that. Like anytime you run a low, how does price react? Does it reject and then just keep going higher, or does it pull back? You want to study things like that. So going back in time, I studied this one in particular. That price rejected and went higher after taking out this low. It came back inside this down candle and it came to the main threshold. It doesn't guarantee it's going to do the same thing, but it's a rough idea. It's a rough idea of what I'm expecting on this pair, and then the reason behind it is because of them running these lows and rejecting and coming above this previous week high. Okay, and them coming above this previous week high. That's the reason why I'm expecting price to go up, and I'm not expecting it to go down. And the second reason is we've broken market structure on the upside, so I have every reason to start looking for longs. This is just a pullback. Okay, this is just a pullback, and you can see it just went up into this last up candle, and that's why it's coming back down. So I will expect price to keep dropping into this area and then start looking for higher prices. I've not looked at yen today, so let's take a look at yen. Crypto. Yeah, okay. It makes sense why the yen pairs will keep dropping. Okay, I think they will probably rebalance this up candle, this down candle, and then drop again. So watch this high and this one. So if you've been around me for a while, you should know that you should have this futures on your chart. Okay, so it looks like they want to rebalance this move to the downside. So maybe this week they'll continue going higher and then drop back down again, because we've broken market structure, we are bearish. So this could be going up and then drop back down again. So it makes sense of what I'm saying on the dollar yen, on the yen pairs, that this can keep dropping, that can keep dropping, into that area and then be okay to go up again. So if you want to take a trade, again, you can look for a breaker setup. So the actual trade, I think this rally was to go up to the breaker again. That's what I think it did. It just went up to hit the breaker again and then rejection, right? So if you want to take a trade, then wait for same thing here. Wait for this down candle to give up. Right, wait for that one to give up and then you sell short. It will not give you lots of profit, but it's still something. You've missed the actual trade, okay? And you don't want to chase it here, because in here it can go up. Yeah, I'm not arguing that it cannot go up. It can, okay? It can literally just pump up here because we are bullish. It's not bearish, we are bullish, but this is a pullback and this is not selling. There's a difference between a retracement and like proper selling, and that's how I see this. It's kind of a profit taking, because when they want to sell, you will see like proper manipulation first, something like this. So this is selling, okay? This manipulation and this whole move to the downside, that's selling. This was accumulation, price run up, and they've taken profit. So it's just cooling back down and then they will reaccumulate again. So that reaccumulation can happen anywhere as price is going down there, okay? Reaccumulation can happen anywhere as price is going back down. That's why sometimes counter trend trading is not good, because you don't know where the retracement is going to end. It could end anywhere and then pull back up. The daily has a breaker in here. That's what I've highlighted in this up candle, but I don't see that supporting price. The reason being, this was just too quick. They might want to come back down and find some more buys down here. So I'll still look for maybe this low to be given up. If we break back up this one again, then I'll change my bias that we will be coming here for the buy, and then I'll start looking for a buy once we break above this high. So if we come above this high again, to me, they don't want to go deeper. They want to continue going higher. Therefore, they break above any retracement, then I'll start looking for buys. So if this ends up doing this, then I'll look for this, and I'm looking for higher prices, targeting that equal high. But if that doesn't happen and we break down, there will be probably a quick retrade in here, and then I'll be looking for this. Right, so that's what I'll be watching. Here again, same thing. It's the same thing. We did take out, let me put these lines on here so you see. We take out previous month low, rejected, traded above previous week high. That's bullish. Retracement we're looking for. So it's the same narrative on the euro yen. This is the breaker here. We could go lower. I think we can. It wants to drop lower before going higher. So you want to measure this low to that high, and you're looking at this area for your continuation to the upside. I'm bullish on this pair, the Swiss yen, until mid December. So this is just a pullback, and you all know price doesn't go up in a straight line, so there's always going to be a pullback. So this pullback, I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. So you can sell breakers again. I think this looks like a nice one. This one here. This looks like a nice breaker, right? And you want to continue going lower into this area, okay? And that is euro yen. This looks more sideways to me than this one, because this is dropping and we had this pullback. That one is not, it's just more sideways. Nevertheless, I still think we will come in down here for that retracement to continue going higher. So if you want to sell, that's the area you want to participate in a sell to go down. And same thing applies to this. Let's remove. I was expecting this down candle on the 4 hour to hold to send us higher, and it didn't. It broke down. Yeah, it broke down. So in a bigger picture, this is a breaker. On this one, I'm bullish, but because the daily is bearish, let's go into the daily. I'm bullish, but because we do have a breaker on the daily, so we are bearish. I think they might want to come back down here for this equal low before entirely going back up, which is what I'll be watching. If it doesn't and we break the 4 hour, if we close above here, I'll change and start looking for buys. I see this that as a sell model that could come all the way down here and take out these lows and then start going up rapidly. So that's the scenario I'm watching, because we do have I don't want to, let's go on there. The yen is pulling back inside the range to rebalance all this movement to the downside. So if it's doing that, then it's something to watch, because it could send all the yen pairs bullish. So this is a yen, so that will drop, and we do have this equal low sitting right here. So I'll go with the downside first, and then if it doesn't, then I'll change. So you could look for a sell again, breakers, look for breakers to continue going lower, and then once you get down there, you start looking for reasons to be a buyer, because this one is bearish. It's not like the euro and the dollar yen. This one is bearish. On these two, they are bullish. So it's two different things. So where is it gone? I'm missing Swiss yen. Swiss yen disappeared. That's weird. Alright, it's back on now. Alright, so I'll look for a sell to come down here, and then once you get down there, I'll be looking for reasons to be a buyer. Now I could be wrong, they might just drop it down here as a retracement to take out this consolidation and then leave this intact and then continue going higher, which would be good. Right, which would be good if they run it down here, reject, and then go higher, which that's more suitable than them coming all the way down here, because then they've broken to the downside again, which I don't like to see that, but it's what I'm seeing. I don't want to say it, but it's what I'm saying. So you want to watch this. If you happen to get a break in market structure here on the 1 hour, something like this, you can start buying. But if you don't get that, then obviously just let it keep rolling. So anytime it forms a short-term high, you want to do this. Anytime it forms a short-term high, you want to do this. So what you see me do here, anytime you have a short-term high, you want to have this. Short-term high, you want to have this. And then anytime it closes above one of them, yeah, it needs to close, not just like this. It needs to close. Anytime it does that, then that's your trigger. You can look for a change in direction to continue going higher. What is the most basic concept for price action analysis? Stop runs or stop hands. Yeah, that's your basic. That's what you look for. Stop hands. It's as basic as it can be. If you look for stop hands or stop run, whichever way you want to call it, that's what you want to pay attention to. Forget everything else. You want to pay attention to stops being run, because that's how the market is being traded. If you understand what I mean, then you will see on every time frame that's exactly what's going on. So something like this, okay, something like this. That's what you want to study. Forget everything else. Forget trend lines, forget animal patterns. Quote unquote from my mentor, forget animal patterns, because the market is not moving because of animal patterns. Right, that's the basic you want to study. CAD yen, I think let's have a look on the daily. Right, it's a bit different. Let's go into the weekly. Back to daily, put our lines in there. Let's remove this. No. So let's remove everything. So we have taken out this, broke above that, back down again. Didn't quite get there. That's two of them. So mean threshold. Maybe didn't quite get there. Nevertheless, it's a bullish order block. Let's see if we did break market structure. We did pull back. Continuation. Just look on the 4 hour. Low, high, low, break, retracement, continuation. From here. This was not a bad, based on analysis from the higher time frame, it's not a bad trade. Maximum it will go sideways, because both the CAD and the yen is strong, so it will go sideways. So that's the maximum for now. So if you do get a buy on this one, I think you'll be looking up here as a target. and that's as far as I can see for now. Drop down to the hourly. Yeah. So if you did get buy on this pair, then your target is up there. That is all I can see for now. That's all I can see for now. Let's check futures. Let me check CAD. Yeah, because both of them are pulling back up with a slight advantage on CAD. With a slight advantage on CAD, so CAD yen can go up. Right, CAD yen can go up from here and take out this high into that gap on the 4 hour, into this, the opening price. Okay, so CAD yen can go up there. Looking at what the futures are doing, I think this is possible. Probably we've missed the actual entry, but it's not far from. It's not far. You could look for that as your upside objective. Okay, so that is CAD yen. That's what I see. Right? Doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but that's what I see. So the question that I do get a lot from other people is like, okay, so why can this thing go up and I'm saying this can drop and this can drop and this also can drop? If you think about price in that way, you will most of the time get things wrong, because you have to understand that yes, this paired against the yen, but the other currency is different. Okay, they are not the same currency. Yes, it's paired against the yen. Yes, they move sometimes together, but the other currencies are different. So, for example, right now, pound, euro pound is going up. When euro pound is going up, what does it mean for the pound? The pound is bearish, right? So the pound pairs are going to drop. It's not going to go up. Maximum, they're going to go sideways. It's not going to go up. Pound is not going to go up because this thing is going up. So pound is going to be weak. So if pound is weak and CAD is going up, it means that this pair can drop and that can also go up. It doesn't matter. Okay, so don't look at price that, okay, for example, because pound New Zealand is dropping, pound Aussie should also drop. It doesn't mean like that. It can do the same thing, but it doesn't mean like that, because anything can happen on Aussie and that can cause the pound Aussie to do something completely different from what pound New Zealand is doing. Okay, so I know maybe you might get a question, okay, why do I think this is going up and because price action on this is different from what it's doing on the other ones, and I trade what I see. Okay, so on this pair, this is what I'm seeing, but on the other ones is completely different. Okay, the other ones, they've broken, especially this one has broken down, this one is also broken down, that is also about 2, pound yen is also about 2. Okay, so at least it's not going to go up, maybe sideways, but not up. So expect this to come up here. If it doesn't and it breaks this low, then you know what to do. Let me put this one aside. If it breaks this low, then you look to sell for this equal low into that mini gap, mini tiny gap here. Right, so if this is to take out this low, then you look to target there, but I don't think it should do that. It can do it, but I don't think it should do that based on the structure we have. They went up, went down, and then rejected everything, so it looks like they want to go up. New Zealand yen, I think this is similar to what the CAD yen is doing. This looks more of a stop run than a breaking structure, and it could continue going higher. Remember, I mentioned that we are very bullish on New Zealand. Okay, we are very bullish on New Zealand, and not just this is telling you that. Okay, not just, you know, this giving you that. If you go into the weekly, New Zealand is up there, monthly, New Zealand is up there, so you do not want to be selling New Zealand. Okay, so I think we will get a continuation to the upside. It came back to this gap and found support. I think I did mention where this thing should be going last week. Okay, we've been here, so I'll say the high, and then if you then get extreme volatility to the upside, then I'll look for that. And from experience and from what I'm seeing, if this is manipulation, then you want to be looking at this equal high. This is probably for next year. If this is manipulation, look at what Bitcoin has done, and then you do the same thing. So if this is manipulation, let's quickly jump on Bitcoin. So actually, let's put it here, because I bought some Bitcoin, so I have some Bitcoin. Sorry, weekly. Right, so this is what I'm saying. Look at the price action here. This whole move to the downside, you have this similar thing in here. Okay, so if this is similar manipulation that we have, look where currently Bitcoin is. Right, that was early February, March, and 6 months later we are up here. When you duplicate this, let's clone that, and then add it to there. That's where I think Bitcoin is going. Right, that's where I think Bitcoin is going. So the reason why I'm showing this is because I'm seeing the same kind of price action here. So if this is what I'm seeing, then this will move to the downside. You want to clone that and then duplicate it to the upside there, and then in the next three to we rejected, we traded above it in July, and from July to November, that's July, August, September, October, November, 5 months. 5 months time we're up here. So once we break above this by next year's March, April, we could find ourselves up here rebalancing this gap. So if you have girlfriends if you have girlfriends or if you have wives, you want to sell some of them and then you want to buy New Zealand yen. Yeah, let me finish because I was just showing you something. Let me finish quickly here and then we go on to that. The same thing applies to New Zealand CAD, right? I've been bullish on New Zealand CAD since down here. We all know I've been saying that for a long time from down here, that this thing is gonna go up, this thing is gonna go up. So I managed to just jump in. I just jumped in here because I didn't think that this thing wants to drop, so I jumped in here on this down candle rejection after running these stops. Okay, and then the pullback inside, I just jumped in. So I'm holding, that's my personal trade for my personal long-term, gain. I'm looking for higher prices on this. And why? Because of what I just explained. The more experience you get, the more you do these kind of things. So if you multiply, or if you do this, clone it and multiply it to the upside, add it to the upside, I'm looking for this high, that high, at least to get up here. Okay, nothing says it can't. So you want to look at this high, right? There is a little gap on the daily in here, so for now that's where I'm targeting. This gap here, that's where I'm targeting. So there's a lot of room to the upside. So I'm not day trading this because it doesn't make sense me day trading it. So it's a buy and hold for me to get up there. It doesn't look like it wants to pull back, so you want to just jump in. I've been looking for a pullback from here and it's just not giving me it. This is where I wanted to see price drop to, and then I can be a buyer and hold on to it. It didn't do that. Okay, even above this high it didn't, above this high it's not. So it doesn't look like it wants to pull back, so you want to jump in and look for upside objectives. Gold is a bit tricky at the moment, but it looks like it wants to go up and rebalance this whole move to the downside. I was expecting price to drop here. I was expecting price to take out this equal low, but it didn't. It looks like they engineered another low. So support and resistance, people are happy to this time because it did offer them that. But I think ultimately they're gonna run it. How they're gonna do it, I don't know. Maybe it will be some form of a news and then they'll just slam it down, like it did happen this morning. This could have potentially just run down. So my opinion on this really is not clean. I'm not sure what they're trying to do. So what I'll watch is the closing price of this, sorry, the opening price of this. Okay, that's the last down candle prior to this move up. Okay, the opening price, sorry, the closing price. I want to see how price is gonna react in there. If it gets there and then it gives me a rejection, then I'll start looking for reasons to go short. I started looking for a sell here at the low. This is a breaker. That's where I started looking for a sell, and I got one, but it did close me out on Friday. Okay, I mentioned I went short here. I mentioned I went short right here, this up candle. That's why I went short. Okay, on Friday price came back up. I didn't want to hold it over the weekend because there's so many things going on, and gold is one of the currencies you do not want to hold long term in this condition. Okay, gold is one of the pairs you do not want to hold on to it long term in this condition. So anything can happen, and they could just slam it down or take it up rapidly like this did, and you don't want to be in it. Okay, so I closed it. So I'm looking for a trade again for this week. So maybe a run above this high into the closing price on the down candle, a break again, then I'll start looking for reasons to go short. Oil, I gave oil before coming to all these pairs. So oil is still here, it's still trading at the breaker. So if you want, you can still take advantage of it. If it goes above this high, then there's problem. They might want to take it higher and then go up here. So you want to switch and go long. Okay. I don't think they should break this high, but if they do, then you want to switch and then you want to go long. Okay, so that's for oil. And then Aussie CAD, I think Aussie CAD is almost at that target I gave since last week, that you still want to look for price. You come up here and there, we're almost there, so there's nothing to say about this. Did I buy this? No, I didn't. I didn't trust, based on the election, I didn't trust going long here, so I didn't do anything on this, but it's playing out beautifully. The one I did take something on was this one here, the one I gave I think on Wednesday, right in here. That's the one I did take something on, but on Friday again close everything, unless it's, where is it, New Zealand CAD. Okay, if you are on any New Zealand trade, that one you want to hold on to it. So those of you that are short on Euro New Zealand, you want to hold on to some of them. Pound New Zealand, you want to hold on to some of them. So that's what we had. So that's it. Let's look at Ethereum. I think it should continue going higher. We just finding it. We're finding resistance at the rejection, that level there, but it's just a temporary hold. It's gonna continue going up. I've given you the level that it should go for. Look on the weekly. Okay. Look on the weekly. That high, they're gonna take that one. We do have a high here. I think it's gonna go up. Let's look on the monthly. Yeah, expect something crazy to happen on this one. It could just shoot up quickly. It could do something like this. Yeah, what happened in here. Okay, it could do something like that in here. That's reaccumulation. When price, I think I've already shared this with you. When price is going up, okay, and we have a down candle in between, so price is going up, then we have a down candle, we trade above it, that is really bullish. Okay, down candle, we trade above it, really bullish. When we are dropping, up candle, we trade below it, bearish. So we have a down candle in between whilst price is going up. You want to be in a buy position on this one, because it could just extrapolate to the upside. Let's look at this low, this high to that low. 50% is here, so you want to look at that level. 751 potential long term. Yeah, that's absolutely possible. And you want to be looking to get offload something here. So you want to offload something in there. Alright, so look for higher prices on this. For your buy, wait for price to, if you're buying it for long-term investment, then I'd say just go on to any of these brokers for long-term investment. That's what I would do personally if I'm interested. But again, like I said, I'm not here to advise you to do it, but I do see those levels as upside objectives. Okay, we could get these kind of days back in we could get this kind of moves again, where it goes up, pause, up, pause, up again. Crazy moves. And something like this as well. Crazy up moves you could get from here, because I think they've accumulated a lot of positions down here. Right, Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin where it is now. I jumped in here, and I thought to myself, maybe I was too late into it, but since then it's just kept going up. I jumped in on this candle here. That's where I jumped in. Okay, and it's still going up. So you look for them to continue going higher. GBP AUD. GBP AUD. GBP AUD, you want to be selling short. At the moment, you want to look at this. Okay, I don't require you to look at it, but by just looking at these, okay, you should know by default what they should be doing. Okay, you don't need to. By default, you should see what they should be doing by comparing these. Actually, let's do this. Okay, look at where Euro is right now. Let's put Aussie, yeah, and put Aussie here. On the weekly. Okay. Now look at the highs, because going forward you can do something like this. My crossbar is not showing this 20th October's high here between Aussie. How do I make this thing show? Someone help me. I think I did something over the weekend. Appearance, price, crosshair. This one, black, maybe. Let's see. It's not showing. Can someone help me? I want to see the lines. Actually, let's just draw it. 21st October. And go here. 21st of October is 21st of October. Right here. Right, I want you to see the high. Okay? And the high. And compare where price is now. That should give you a clue what pound Aussie should be doing. Right, we are down here. That one is all the way up there. Price is trading here, price is trading up there. So by default, pound Aussie should be dropping. Right, by default, pound Aussie should be dropping. So pound Aussie. Why did I even look at euro? Sorry, I got myself confused. That's supposed to be euro Aussie, but it's the same thing. Let's go back to 21st. Right there. High, 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 high. Right? Where is price trading now? Same thing. Price is still trading up here. Price is trading all the way up there. So there's a huge difference. Plus, if you look closely on the lower time frame, look how this is going up and look how this is not going up. So the relative strength is to what? Aussie. Aussie is stronger and pound is weaker. So pound Aussie should be dropping. There you go. So pound Aussie. Target wise, you want to look at here. Okay, target wise, you want to look down there. Entry wise, I think we might find a bit of support there to pull back and then come back down. So you want to watch there because we do run above this high. We want to watch this up candle for this week. I'll place my stop above this high and then target down here. Right, so I'll be watching this up candle with a stop above this high, that one, and then I'll be targeting here, but with my first target back down, same level. I'll take something off here, depending on how price will go up. I'll take something off here and I'll take another here, and then I'll let the rest run to the downside. All right, so that's what I would do. Any other pair, anything that anyone wants me to look at? Sorry, Mondays are always like this, very long, because it's the weekend, and once we come back, you want to reanalyze everything, because over the weekend anything is possible and price direction can change, so we have to go through them all over again. We don't have a clean continuation on most of the pairs, so you have to go through all of them. But Wednesday will be shorter because we already done Monday, Tuesday, so it's nothing much. Okay, let's look at New Zealand, Swiss, because I know some people wanted to take some trades on this one. New Zealand, Swiss, I think price is similar to what I outlined on the New Zealand. This thing looks bullish, so for now it wants to rebalance this. So you want to be looking for reasons to go higher into this gap. Right, we had price hit the gap low and rejected. It dipped in and rejected, so it's gonna go deeper. So next upside objective will be the mean threshold of the gap, and then there again, if this is what I'm seeing, then you want to do what I did on all those pairs, which is not duplicate it, add it to that, and we could see this. So this equal high, this one, that one, and then this up candle. That is a possibility on the New Zealand pairs, but for now, that's extreme. Do not look at that. Look for this and that one. So I think this down candle, as long as we are still above this, that's why it's still gonna be bullish. Trade idea wise, I think what you can do is frame the trade around this down candle. I like mentioning down candles. Gonna frame the trade around that one, that we shouldn't come back down here, or that one, because there's a gap, so I'll leave it here. It's about 33 pip stop loss, not big, and then I'll target these. If we break this low, then I'll be looking back down here for price to come back and rebalance. I don't see that. We might get some short-term rejection up there, so we might see price go up here and then pull back and then continue going higher. CAD Swiss. Anytime I come back from weekend, I have these issues. CAD Swiss, I think I mentioned that we should continue going higher into, I don't know why my levels keep deleting. We should continue going higher into there. Right, CAD Swiss should continue going lower into there, and we should find support at this down candle and continue going higher, because the daily is looking for higher prices. So you want to look for higher prices. So CAD Swiss, you want to target that. So on the 4 hour, look at the hourly. You have a low, high, low, break, pull back. If it does come down here, you want to look for a long with a stop there and look for that. but you don't look for that target as your last objective. You want to start taking something off. So you want to take something off here on the 4 hour. Yeah, you want to take something off there. That's the breaker. And then this up candle, you want to take something off there. And then the rest you let it run. Okay, that's a big target, but it is possible. Right, I like this. I like this. Really, really good. That is a engulfing pattern. That's special. Right, so I'll get an entry at the high. So I'll get an entry at the high based on the 4 hour. I'll get an entry at the high, and then look for upside objective. If it breaks, then I'll look for a sell and target this low. Maybe they might want to clean out all this, so I'll target this low. If this breaks to the downside, then I'll target this low. But as long as it's the daily is still bullish, then I'll look for a buy here to continue going up. That's a good trade. Euro Swiss, absolutely. I'll probably take away this thing. It's just dead. Aussie Swiss, I was looking for price to come down here before continue going higher, because the daily is still bullish. So I wanted to see price retrace to the bullish order block and then continue going higher with a sell. Right, it didn't do that. That means it's still bullish. So that high, let's measure this monthly. I think something fundamentally there is a shift. There is a shift in something. I don't know what it is, but there's a shift because all these pairs seems to be reversing, right? This we've been dropping for how many years now? Since 2005. Price has just been going down, right? And there seems to be a reversal. So fundamentally there's a shift going on. 2018 is still, 2020 is still a weird year. I think there's a reversal. Look for upside objective here on this Aussie Swiss. Okay, I like these two upside, the gap. If we trade above this, do the same thing, because I think there's a shift. Multiply that by 2, and then there you go. So this equal high. Next year you want to look at that as possible upside objective for next year. So my members, the dates that I gave you guys, you know, when we do have bullish alignment on Aussie, this is a pair to come on to look at retracement to down candles on the daily for a continuation to the upside. On the weekly for now, absolutely nothing to stop price now apart from highs. So this will be an upside objective, and then it's just highs, nothing in there. So back to the daily. Let's get rid of that. If price is ever to pull back in here, that would be the best entry. Right, if price is to come down here, that would be the best entry to go long. Yeah, if price is to come back down here, that would be the best entry. But if it doesn't, we close above that, then you can use that one. Okay, so if you don't and you close above this, you can use this as your buy candle with a stop here and look for those upside objectives. Pound Swiss, same thing. I think we're going higher. We have equal highs in here, so if you do pull back down, you can look for a buy. If we pull back down here, you could look for a buy. I think we've done dollar Swiss. Yep. 15 minutes. That's nice. It went back to the break and rejected. So if you did catch that, well done. If you didn't, then well done. Let's look at these pairs now. CAD yen. So CAD yen, today's date is what, 16th. So going forward, we will start looking for reasons to be a buyer. Yeah, like we did mention last week, CAD yen seems to like to go up. So we will start looking for reasons to be a buyer. Watch this gap here. Yeah, watch that one and see if we're gonna get a breaking structure in that level. Okay, we've reached 16th going forward, so we mark out 16th to whenever, and then in here we start looking for bullish price actions. Okay, so we want to start looking for bullish breakers or retracement to down candles on the 4-hour, 1-hour, or daily. So daily we do have that down candle. That's where that gap is. That's where that gap is, that down candle. So you want to watch that. And upside we do have this high, that high, that high. So you want to start looking for upside objectives. Okay, EuroCAD, same thing. We did break market structure after running this low and then closing above that. So this is a pullback. If we do go all the way down through it, then the actual level I'm expecting will be here, that one. But because we've broken structure, I'll still be looking for the buy here. And then if it doesn't give the breaking structure and continues going down, then obviously we look for the breaking structure to happen down here, and then we see a rejection. We do normally see a rally towards the end of the year on this, so it could be the beginning. Maybe this breaking structure is the beginning of that rally. Okay, so let's see if price is gonna do that. So I'll frame a long on here. I said that's a nice area. Right, this gap, you want to start watching that with that down candle sitting right in there. Okay, start watching there for a buy. And like I said, if it stops you out, no problem. I'm watching. There's another level in here that I'm watching. So if we get there and we break again, then I'll start looking for that buy. But you want to monitor this on the downside. We've already talked about CAD. We've already talked about dollar CAD. And I think I've talked about Aussie CAD as well. Aussie CAD is looking to come up here. And then once we get there, then there might be some pullback, maybe a bigger one, because of this short-term high, there will be liquidity above that, and then that last up candle, it could go through it, but I don't expect that. That's why I've given a profit target there, because once you get there, there could be some form of a reaction. They just run some stops here, so that's good. It means that that level will be possible because they've just run some people out. So anyone that was trying to buy long and place their stop, 2 pips, those 2 pips traders, those 2 pip and 5 pips traders, I think they've been run out, because I think a lot of people might be looking to buy this. There's a lot of smart money concept traders going on. Over the weekend, I watched so many of them. We do, but it's not a community. The community we have is a Discord. So you want to click on the join us on Discord for more information. You want to click on that. Okay, so click on the link in the description that says forex.com/discord, and then you can join the free community there, and you can ask me any question. But there's a lot of smart money traders, and the thing I find interesting, sorry if I'm going somewhere else with this, but the thing I find interesting is that almost all of them, okay, almost all of them, they talk from what has happened. Yeah, they never tell you what is going to happen. If you look on YouTube, you're gonna find so many of them, right? And a lot of them, not all of them, but most of them talk about what you could have done, what you could have done here, what you could have done here, not what you should do. Like I'm showing that you could do this, you could do that, which is a sign of I don't say weakness, but it's a sign that they always want to show you what price has done, and it's typical of what all these trading books talks about, like trend lines, RSI. They're always showing you what price did, right? But not what price is going to do. Because if you don't know what price is going to do and you're only talking about what price has done, I can't make anything out of what price has done. Okay, I can make something of what price could potentially do. Yeah, so you want to be, there's so many of them out there. You want to be careful if you're following any of these guys. You want to follow the ones that will tell you, okay, this is what I'm seeing that could potentially happen. Not, okay, you could have taken a long here, okay, because could have taken a long here will not mean anything to me. Yes, I can learn from it, but it doesn't give me anything. So if you want to follow any of these guys, follow one that will tell you, okay, this is what can happen, and if this doesn't happen, that can happen, and that sort of thing, right? Because over the weekend, because my mentor is kind of pissed off that a lot of people are teaching his stuff online, so I wanted to double check and see if it's true. Because if you go on YouTube right now, just type in smart money trading, or type in FU candle, or type in institutional candle, okay, you're gonna find so many of them. Okay, I'm not teaching you, I'm giving you what could happen, and that's different. All right, so I think I've done all of them, unless anyone has any question. Indices, franc 40, if it didn't quite get there, Mr. M, if you're around, that was your level to go long. don't know about this. Yeah, US German 30, that was also a good buy. I think that was shared last time. But that's what I had on these pairs. I had a buy on this one to continue going higher into the gap. As target on the upside, and that one as your upside objectives. So Mr. M, if you're around, that's your upside objectives. On this one, same thing, that's your upside objective. German 30, that is the upside objective on that. I did share that earlier. You want to study stop runs. Okay, you want to study this. That's your foundation. If you want to study the way I trade, start from looking at how price goes above a high and then rejects. Okay, how price goes below a low and rejects, especially on the daily time frame. All right, I think my time is up. I've spent too long, way too long. If no one has any question, then I'm gonna sign out. I should have been done by 4, but I just love being online with YouTube. Trading is the best thing ever, because the way it brings out people's it brings out the true human nature, the flaws in human nature. Trading brings out all those things, and it's so fascinating to witness if you are aware, because you can you probably not be aware of it, but if you are aware, then it's so fascinating that you see the actual flaws in human beings. You're welcome. Okay, so if no one has any question, I'm gonna end here. Thank you very much for coming, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday same time at 2. And then with the VIP members, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Right? So stay blessed, stay peace, and enjoy the rest of your evening.